people keep correcting me, telling me that it's Cybertruck and not Tesla truck. I don't care. I don't care what it's called. I hate them. I hate them. I need them off the streets. I need them off the road. I need them off the highway. I need them out of my town. I need them out of my country. I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of Tesla trucks. Cybertrucks!
Just another liberal melting down over simple facts. Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Akorn. I hope all of you are having a great weekend and that you're ready for today's show, Laugh While the World Burns, where we show some of the highlights of the idiocracy that is modern-day society. If you enjoy this series, please help support the channel and enjoy today's show to the end. And share this video with your family, friends, and social media. We have a lot of good memes and idiocracy news this week. But first, I do have a channel announcement that I will get into later in the show. And second, due to a technical problem, the content that was submitted to the channel by my viewers, which is in today's show, lost all of your names. And therefore, I do not know who sent in what. So unfortunately, there won't be any names to pop up during today's show. I do apologize about this, but I do want to thank all of you who submit content to the channel. With that said, let's jump into today's show. Canada begins construction on a wall at the Canada-US border. Well, those beavers could probably build a wall faster than any of the contractors that the government hires. It's really cool to be alive in America at this point in history because it's like the collapse of the Roman Empire, but with Wi-Fi. That's fairly accurate, actually. Most people just don't know it yet, though. Power Rangers writer says casting Black and Asian actors as Black Ranger and Yellow Ranger was such a mistake. I actually read part of this, and I think it said that it wasn't even realized until the end of Season 2 that during a staff meeting that somebody pointed this out. Judge rules against appalling Virginia private school that suspended student for waiting to report on classmate with a bullet until exam ended. A judge in Virginia called it appalling that a school decided to suspend a sixth grader for not more quickly reporting that his classmate brought a bullet to class after the boy waited until his test was over. Judge Vivian Henderson of Virginia Beach ruled in favor of Rachel Wigand, the suspended child's mother, in her lawsuit against St. John the Apostle Catholic School. Wigand claimed that the private school violated its contract by suspending her son for a day and a half in September. This country is divided. But one thing we can all agree on, that Disney's Snow White live-action movie is garbage. When everyone thinks you've been launching missiles in the ocean because you're a madman, in reality, you've been the only thing holding back Godzilla for years. I'm old enough to remember when paper bags were being blamed for the destruction of trees, and plastic bags were the solution. Yeah, and we also remember when they didn't cut down millions of acres of forest to build solar and wind farms while claiming that they're saving the planet. AOC vows to only use lowercase letters to fight capitalism. Me setting my VPN to England and spreading banned memes to troll their government. Liberals in 2025 fight climate change, vandalize Teslas.
don't know. You don't know what happened?
No.
Okay. No people like you too?
Yeah.
You as well, sir. So, you want to talk about what happened here?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
You didn't see that Tesla?
No.
Okay. Well, we had something.
Okay.
Okay. So, one.
The left is anti-cordless hole puncher and pro-environment unless they are shooting up and burning Tesla dealerships. Got it? Male fencer competing in women's division already has 2 gold medals in 6 events. Female opponent says she has nowhere to go. The male athlete's best finish in the men's category was 3rd place. A female fencer who forfeited a match against a male athlete said there are no options for women if men are allowed to compete in women's sports. Stephanie Turner of the Fencing Academy of Philadelphia was set to fence against Redmond Sullivan of Wagner College at a recent tournament, but refused to participate in the sport against a male opponent, and she took a knee to forfeit the match. An official approached the woman and gave her a black card, disqualifying her from the tournament with the highest tier of penalty possible. The idea had to come from somewhere. Yeah, they might have just found it. Who had resurrecting dire wolves for April? If you somehow was guessing that, well, you were right. The dire wolf is back from the dead. Scientists cloned extinct beast using ancient DNA. Dallas-based biotech firm Colossal Biosciences has announced the successful de-extinction of the dire wolf, a prehistoric predator that vanished some 12,500 years ago. The company revealed that 3 genetically engineered direwolf pups have been born using advanced cloning and gene editing techniques, marking the first time an extinct species has been revived. Yes, because that's all we need. More apex predators. Whatever you do, don't put them in Yellowstone. People will be out there trying to pet them. A company that values gender equality seeks to hire 5 women to unload 8 trucks loaded with cement. I'm sure they'll be lining right up for you. Democrats vote overwhelmingly against GOP bill aiming to bar illegal aliens from voting. We believe that only American citizens should vote in American elections. Do you suffer from anxiety attacks? Are they often caused by stupid people? Get an emotional support honey badger. Unlike other companion animals that snuggle up to provide physical comfort and a safe space during anxiety attacks, the emotional support honey badger instead physically attacks and savages the absolute living hell out of the stupid idiot bothering you, thus removing the source of the anxiety. Much more efficient. Ask your doctor if honey badger is right for you. Too bad you couldn't train them to be guard dogs. Conservatives boycott. Liberal boycott. So you're not mad at those who lied to you for years, but you're mad at me for proving they lied to you. Republican woman arrested for election fraud in Texas while wearing Ban Democrat Chairs shirt. I read part of this out of curiosity, and basically it boiled down to that she claimed she had lived there for about 3 years when she actually hadn't been there except for just a few months. And if I remember right in the article, it said that they had to be a resident for 6 months before they could run for office. Cancel culture was created because the left cannot survive in a free market of ideas. Homeschooling Day 32 with Grandpa. Me not watching the news because if it's important enough, I'll know about it from memes. It's fact check true. Upon doing recent research, I've decided to get a dog for home security reasons. Flame-throwing robot dog that can shoot fire up to 30 feet goes on sale in the US. I'd like to have one of those. I could come in handy. More than 80 firearms and 3 skulls found in Cannibal Corpse guitarist home. The names of his songs. People in the 60s. I better not say that, or the government will wiretap my house. People today. Hey, wiretap, do you have a recipe for pancakes? It's very true. Your phone is always listening. New non-citizen Social Security numbers issued. These 4 years there make a total of right about 4 million. If people's minds are blown just because they find out that 4 million people got Social Security numbers over 4 years, I don't think they would survive if they actually found out the real numbers of illegal immigrants that has flowed into the U.S., not just across the southern border, but in every other way possible. Man uses a lead dispenser to rob a Texas convenience store. He was shot by every customer inside the store. I actually had a video of this in one of the earlier episodes in this series. European countries wondering who will break unity and negotiate a separate deal with the U.S. MAGA betrayal. Kash Patel appoints J6 terrorist hunter to key position. FBI Director Kash Patel has made it clear that he rejects the mainstream narrative that January 6th was a massive insurrection and has even suggested that the FBI played a role in inciting the event. These sentiments stand in stark contrast to his recent appointment of Stephen Jensen as the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Washington field office. Jensen's past role as Section Chief of the Domestic Terrorism Operations Section, in which he labeled January 6 protesters terrorists, leading to aggressive efforts to arrest them, has sparked widespread controversy. This comes as a shock to conservatives who were counting on FBI Director Kash Patel to clean up the Bureau, because Jensen was a key figure in the domestic terror push against January 6 protesters. Trump gives 16th consecutive inauguration speech in 2081. Trump aims to make taking a shower great again with new executive order. The commander-in-chief vows to end the Obama-Biden war on water pressure. Did he really need an executive order for that? Or at least, right now? I think there's more important things to be dealing with at the moment. Conservative boycott. I don't like Bud Light's values. I'm not going to drink their beer. Liberals boycott.
I don't like Tesla because of Elon Musk. Burn it all down.
Man caught spiking his female date's drinks with Viagra to make sure they don't get... because you never know anymore these days. Well, he's not wrong. How people with positive vibes in their bio react when you tell them a fact that contradicts their opinion. Yeah, a bunch of little spoiled children throwing their temper tantrums, just like the one at the start of the show. Marketing exec blamed for transgender public relations nightmare at Bud Light now works for LIV Golf. Local Facebook user discovers they can simply scroll past posts they disagree with instead of leaving an essay in the comments section. Let them leave the essay. The only other person that's going to read it is another liberal who also wants to write an essay. Do you ever feel the urge to tell someone to shut up even when they aren't talking? Yes, I have. Fake Down syndrome influencers created with AI are being used to promote OnlyFans content. This world is going to hell in a handbasket. Girls that say they won't date a Trump supporter. Well, kind of goes with the news article from a few minutes ago. Los Angeles sheriff threw deputy to federal wolves to appease liberal mob, union representative says. Deputy now faces 10 years in federal prison. Yeah, and from what I was able to read in the article, basically, some woman who was fighting with the police, hitting them and everything else. In other words, another liberal throwing their temper tantrum, and she ended up getting arrested. But because it's California, it might as well be illegal for a cop to arrest a liberal. This is Matt Bershiker, CEO of the ASPCA. He makes $1 million a year. He's made over $7 million since taking the job. If you want your donations to go to shelter pets instead of millionaires, give your hard-earned money to local shelters. That pretty much goes for any of these type organizations. Most of the money just goes into somebody's pocket. Police station toilets stolen. Officers have nothing to go on. The party that says, "Eat the rich," is now freaking out about the rich losing their money in the stock market. Exposing fraud is making all the worst people mad. Honorable Ginger Gooch has been appointed a Missouri Supreme Court judge. You have been sentenced to death by Ginger Gooch. Why would anyone be against Dodge? Probably because those people have been stealing from the taxpayers for years and don't want to give up their scam. Government employees trying to write one paragraph saying what they did this week. What does a feminist use for birth control? Her personality. That's actually very true in many ways. You should own a green car. I absolutely agree. And I'll end the show with this. The closer you are to nature, the further you are from idiots. For all of you who are still watching, I mentioned at the start of today's show that I had a channel announcement. In recent weeks, there's been some comments, and I've even gotten some emails, asking why wasn't there any new videos going up on the second channel. Well, I have to report to you guys today that a few weeks ago, back in March, YouTube demonetized the second channel under their policy claim of reused content. Now, are memes reused? Yeah, I'd say so most of the time, because their purpose is to share them. And there are thousands of channels here on YouTube that has no voiceovers and yet share millions of memes. So, it just has to be a misunderstanding, right? Something to do with the YouTube algorithm. That was kind of my first thought. However, I made an appeal to YouTube, and yesterday I received a notification that YouTube had rejected my appeal. So, what does this mean? Well, unfortunately, it means it is the end of the second channel. I may put up one last video on the second channel because we already had it made and setting in the pipeline, but that will be the last video. With having said that, I want to thank all of you here who went over to the second channel and subscribed and helped us get it monetized to begin with. And as the channel began to grow, many of you also watched those videos too. So I just wanted to thank each and every one of you who went over there and helped us out. Even though that's the end of the second channel, we still have the main channel here, at least for the time being. How long I'll still have this channel has been a concern of mine for some time now, but we'll keep the channel going for as long as YouTube allows. Also have one final short announcement on the channel, something I've also received comments and emails about. When is our merch store gonna reopen? And I'm glad to say, hopefully within the next 1 to 2 weeks. I will make an announcement here on the channel once it is actually open. And with that, I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this week. This is Akorn, over and out.